Anybody want to guess what session number this is?
Damn it! I wanted to make fun of you.
You can.
78.
77.
All right, we got one out there.
Where's our fans screaming for us?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Session 77, which is 37 of our Queen and Empire chapter.
Did we break
is-
the Cantaria record?
Did we break the Cantari? That's a great question. I don't want to check right now, but maybe. I feel like 37 is up there. Again, we're playing 77, and there's been 37 in this session, so that's like there's only 40 combined of all the other chapters. So yes, I assume. Yeah. So the last session was on January 31st, and it is now June 1st. So we missed a solid 4 months.
Michael Oski, this was your fault.
All right. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
This guy goes on dates and plays.
I got a sweatshirt for playing hockey.
Congratulations!
Wait, did you win?
No, we didn't win shit. We're terrible.
Are you champions? You're not champions.
But they look good in those
we are definitely better. We have matching pants.
You guys look the best.
Top tier in the beer league is having matching pants.
Yeah, dude. We're recording already. I'll show you later.
All right.
Are we recording?
We are. Would you want to show? You don't want to show me your pants on the recording?
I don't want to see.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we played a full 4 months ago. Nas now has another baby, who I think is, we said 2 months old. Yeah. And yeah, who the hell remembers what happened last session?
The betrayal.
Nas fucking wrecked shit.
We got to the Winter Grove, and we were talking to a priest of Asmodeus, and everyone sidled in to get around him, and then thugged the first priest of Asmodeus, and then we heard a scream when we were schmoozing him with baloney, and it was Lavasvia screaming in the background. She was getting grabbed by some big ice demon, ice devil, excuse me. Pardon my ignorance. So we boned over there, and then there was another one or another two ice devils.
There were a total of 2, right? There's not a third one, I don't think.
Oh, there was the bone devil that the one summoned. So one summons a bone devil, the other one is fighting us. I think it was Chris who went on the most epic shitty rolling that he's ever had in
it's
session
absolutely
ever.
terrible. Yeah, that is accurate.
Like insanely like, oh my god, there's something wrong with the program bad.
Joe didn't write that one though. So
Yeah, I didn't write this one. This is not my fault.
Yes.
Atropos'
No.
fault, whatever it is. Screen is. Anyway.
So they are fighting the guys behind. We're fighting the guys ahead. Nero summons a bunch of stuff. We're all sort of like trying to chop our way through. Durn and Bob are dealing with the Bone Devil and the Ice Devil. The other Ice Devil, Vors is trying to deal with. Aywen's suffocating dudes left and right, which is like insane to be like, oh, my suffocate works on this giant thing that probably barely needs to breathe to live, and I'm killing you. Like, yeah, oh yeah, your fort's your big save. Yeah, you fail. So Aywen's doing that. We go into the Winter Grove, and it's pretty hard to see, but Nero gets close, and there's a big ice dome in there, and it's surrounded by a blade barrier. And so while everyone's suffocating and shooting and smashing things in the background, Nero pulls out a spell book and uses an ability that he just recently got to cast an arcane spell out of a spell book, and just rips it out of the spell book and does it with his lore knowledge. So he dimension doors into the dome after he summons a bunch of big earth elementals. We get in there, and there's a priest of Asmodeus that we will later learn is a fanatic and a splinter kind of guy. And he's looking to sacrifice Lavasvia for something else, and he's very startled to see Nero appear on top of the altar. He's even more startled when a bunch of earth elementals come in and start beating the shit out of him. He tries to fireball, he tries to do other things, and Nero just pulls a dagger and sticks it in Lavasvia. And she's, for a moment, is like, yes, he's going to free me, and then it's like, oh shit. And he kills her, and she dies, and the guy's like, no. And then we stop there. We lost poor Webster. in the melee.
we did. I forgot that. That was fantastic. My entire notes for the recap was Winter Grove was bullet 1, bullet 2 was Nero's giant balls. So I think you've covered it. All right. So yeah, that's what happened last session, and you guys are officially done with the ritual. You were sent here to smear a sacrifice's blood on every stone, and you put all your blood on all the stones because you were convincing Levisvia that she was part of like a plot to sacrifice Bob or someone at the end of the thing. But then at the end, Nero did the business and slaughtered Levisvia while she was bound on the altar. So you are done. And I think I forgot what the voice, there was a giant voice boom that said the pact is renewed. I forgot what else it said, but basically you are well aware that you have succeeded in your task. And you took Luthon Malix, the priest, alive? He just basically dropped to his knees and cried about it?
I think the Earth Elementals beat him unconscious, like didn't kill him. But,
yeah. Fair enough. Okay, yeah. Then you got him alive.
Semantics.
Well, yeah. I just want to know, is he alive or dead? Okay, he's unconscious. It's all good. And there's an alligator a crocodile up here for some reason. That's fine. So what are you guys going to do? It's still like a storm. It's still, I guess the blade barrier and the ice wall would have faded after the things that cast them died. But what would you guys like to do?
So Nero gets out of the cold and has one of the elementals dirty his hands carrying Luthon out and carries him out of the grove and into the dirt with everyone. And Nero just comes out and says, I suppose we should find out what to do with him.
Sure.
All right.
Head back into town.
Yeah. Let's put him on one of your pets, and I'll send a message to the capital and see what they want us to do with him.
We're free to just teleport back at this point, aren't we?
Yes, you were banned from teleporting as part of the ritual, but now that it's done, you believe you could teleport freely as you wish.
He's not willing.
What's that?
He can be unconscious, and
yeah,
right?
I believe unconscious people can't resist.
Okay, cool.
I don't know about actual rules, but that I firmly believe that.
That's cool. Then that's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Or you can shove him in the bag of holding.
Also, you could do that as long as you get him out fast enough. Yes. You can't breathe in there.
Aywen, do you think you could animate one of these devils, or make it into another Webster kind of thing?
Probably.
Just curious.
Yeah. The question is more like, this is Jeff speaking, by the way. This question is more whether I can actually hold that capacity of undead. I think I can, but it's been 5 months, so I don't remember.
Fair enough. Webster was a death web, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were controlling him, or were you something else-ing him?
I was something else-ing him.
It's the longer version, the one where you can't make them go against their nature, pretty much.
Okay, so that was like, I forget the
control command.
Yeah, I forget the differences. Okay, so but this is like your animate is a separate pool that he was not a part of because you basically charisma'd him. You convinced him to join you after his master died. Okay, so this guy is 14 hit dice, the Ice Devils. So I don't know if I don't know what your pools are.
Well,
you could also just let your other ones go if you want to let Lee. I think they're still in like a cave somewhere.
They're in Kintaria in Aywen's makeshift house there.
Less than optimal, yes. So just let them go free.
Well, I don't know if it's going to matter this session. Can I figure it out offline? And
certainly, yes. That's a good point. Yeah, so you can figure that out. In worst case scenario, you can always teleport the corpse with you. But whatever. So yeah, so you guys are gonna go teleport back to Egorian.
Sure.
All right. And how many people can you teleport these days? Let me look up that spell. I don't even have like the original PFSRD on my website like search bar anymore because it's like it fell off from misuse from 4 months of not using it. You can take 1 per 3 caster levels. You are 12, so you can take you and 4 people. That's the entire party, and then I guess Luthon Malix. He's unconscious. I'm not gonna make you go back and forth several times. So I'm gonna say you can get everybody back.
Into the bag. Into the bag.
Into the bag! Halfling, get in the bag. You can hold your breath. The unconscious guy can't hold his breath. Yeah, okay, well, we'll just say you can make it in 1 teleport, though. That's fine. I'm all good with that. So you guys are teleporting to Egorian? The center of town as usual, or anywhere special?
Where would we want to drop him? Would we want to drop him at the palace? Would we want to drop him to the Tari? Would we want to go somewhere higher up?
What's the? He's in the church, right?
Yes.
He is in the church, and Nero identified him as something of a zealot within the church. Like Nero believes he probably was not operating under the church's command. So,
but he belongs to them.
He does belong to them. He is a high-ranking Asmodean priest, but he is a zealot. And as I said a long time ago, again, there's so much we probably don't remember. There are forces within the church that believe that the government of Cheliac should be overthrown and replaced with a theocracy. That the queen is not the rightful ruler of this. This is insane. You know, we should be a church-run empire. So he was one of those sorts of zealots, and he does not represent the actual Church of Asmodeus. As Nero's
probably give to the.
I mean, if he had succeeded, would the church have accepted it? Probably, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, in general, like this was on a mission for the queen. I feel like we should dump him with her and, let her decide how she wants to clean that part of it up.
Sure. Let's pop somewhere appropriate near or in the palace.
Yeah, probably like right in front. Just not being super presumptuous and letting people take us where we need to go.
Yep. Yeah, so that's kind of what you've been doing so far. You kind of just pop into the middle of the palace, or sorry, the middle of the grid, which is like the center of town, and the palace is to the south there, and this big star over here is the midnight temple to Asmodeus. So you do that, and you walk over to the palace. And you are well known to the guards at this point. You've been to the palace 2 or 3 times at this point. And the guards know who you are, and they are waiting for you. They are waiting for you to report back. So they will take you into the palace unless you are saying or doing anything special. No? All right.
Nope.
They will take you, and they lead you to that lead-lined room that you were given your mission in, like a little over a week ago, I think. It was weekish, week and a half-ish. I don't know how long you were on the actual journey.
Feels like months.
What?
Feels like months ago.
Well, fair enough. Let me look real quick. I'm gonna go to the pilgrimage map, and I think like you want like two jumps a day. I don't remember how long. I think you mean 2 tiles a day is what I think you were doing. So like 4, 5. Yeah, it's definitely like a week and a half. Go with a week and a half. So they lead you into. They're gonna lead you into the lead-lined room where you had spoken with the queen previously. And as you guys know from before, the lead-lined room is basically to block divination and things like that. You know, the spying of certain people and whatnot. So they lead you into the lead-lined room, and you wait for almost an hour before the queen arrives. But she does. And the queen, flanked by the Ernies, the big armored Ernies you've seen before. Got a hand up for her.
Yeah, the hot one.
Yeah? Yeah? So yeah, the Ernies is there. And there's another picture of her too, the actual throne room picture, but that's her and the queen are there. Show players, that's the queen. She walks in with the Ernies, and and she has always has a contract devil with her, but I don't think I have a piece of art for that. And she's
Are they specially dressed for us right now, or
no? What makes you think that?
their outfits look different? I feel like that's a different outfit.
Well, it's different. It's definitely different art. So I mean, they might have drawn them differently for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, they're not dressed special for you, I promise. And the queen walks in, and her face is always like stone cold. She has like no emotion in her face, so she doesn't appear happy to see you or anything like that. She just sits down and gets right down to business.
I will do my typical greeting for her.
What is that?
I mean, she's into that salute. I do that salute, you know, the not so good one.
The not so good salute? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
All right. And she acknowledges you with a nod, but says nothing. And then she looks over everybody and says, "It is done. I've sensed it is done in the winds. How did it go?" And she looks primarily at Nero, but she does glance at all of you as she's doing this.
Anyone feel free to stop me if you have something to add, and Nero will just start running it down about some of the things you ran into, about killing Ironwing Kazi and the druid that guard the Barrowwood, right?
The Barrowwood? Yeah, I think that's what it's
And then the Narcopolis, and then the Devils and Luthon Melix, and that we have a highlight reel of that if she wants to watch it on our Flydo.
She nods, and she's actually seen some of it. Maggie came back a couple of days ago and actually gave her some of the video, the curated video as per Aywen's command, like not showing some things and not other things, and whatnot. So she nods, and she's looking forward to seeing more. If I assume you have Maggie with you at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
So she's definitely looking forward to seeing more. And it only takes a minute to convey like an hour or whatever it is of data. So like if you're willing to wait 20 minutes, she can see everything that Maggie saw, or whatever Aywen wants her to see.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I would just say, like, based on Nero's story, if anything resonates with you, I want to be sensitive to your time. Just let me know what you want to see, and Maggie will show you.
Okay. And yeah, so she's already seen some of the Ironwing Kazi stuff and stuff like that. So how much do you leave anything specific out, Nero, or is there any like general idea of what you say versus what you don't say?
I don't have anything. I don't have anything in terms of like things that I would omit that went on. I don't think there's anything that was particularly damaging. He doesn't really talk about, well, this combat so and so was ineffective or things like that. We don't shit on each other, but yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about in general. There's a bunch of combats. You just happen to be the most recent.
Okay. So she takes in the recap the whole time, and she's listening intently, and again, showing no emotion throughout. She nods along and asks very few questions as you're going, basically waiting for you to roll the whole thing out. And when offered, she will ask Maggie to give her any bits of information she's missing. I guess it's only from like the last 24 hours, so I guess specifically she's looking at the Winter Grove stuff.
Right.
So she tunes in for a bit of that. You watch as she kind of just pauses and she leans back for a minute as she just gets this blast of vision within a minute of everything that happened there. And she looks back to you, Nero. She says, "What do you know of this priest at the Winter Grove?"
I know that I don't know him personally. I only know him by reputation. His reputation is that he's a fanatic. If you're asking me to guess, I would say that what he did wasn't church sanctioned.
Can I roll a knowledge check? It would.
Yeah, you can.
Vors
Are you on this map? I'm gonna.
Which map? It says Game Plus.
We're in well, first of all, unplugged it. You're in Egorian, but I don't think you're actually on this map, which is annoying.
I see the party.
I will. Where do you? Okay. Oh, you're in.
Actually,
yeah. I'll just activate the throne room, so you can go here.
Vors. I can.
Yeah, you can do it that way too. That's true. But I'll just dump you in the throne room. You're not actually in the throne room, but now you're there if it helps. So what are you looking to do?
Nobility?
What are you trying to know about?
Just this dude. Do I know anything about this dude?
I would go with religion. If you want to use nobility, if he's not really tied to a family or anything like that. So it would mostly be religion, or I guess you could use knowledge local to see if you've heard anything about him in passing.
Yeah.
It doesn't roll.
It's not rolling.
Is everything broken? I haven't actually tested anything since he played 4 months ago.
I'm clicking the dice. And
Skills, knowledge, local. Yeah, it's not rolling. What? That is...
boo.
Yeah. Can I do it?
Anyhow.
Yeah, that's garbage, huh? Anyhow, what were you trying to do?
Just see if I knew about anything about him.
Yeah, none of the buttons are working. That's trash. Alright.
Should have stuck with Sync RPG.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, I rolled a 10. You have a plus 13 in algebra, so 23. So yeah, you know him as a something of a firebrand, and like Nero was saying, he's basically a zealot within the church, and he has like openly spoken, not politically but religiously at the fact that the Church of Asmodeus is not prominent enough in the empire associated with hell. So basically, Queen Abigail made this deal. Her family is in charge of Cheliax, and she has this deal with Asmodeus and with hell, but she is not pure. She is not representing hell properly on the material plane, and we would do much better if we were a religious theocracy. So both you and Nero are aware that he has been talking about this, but is seen as an outsider, as an outcast. He's not the mainline church establishment.
So I guess I would relay at least that much to her when asked what we knew about her. Or about him, rather.
Yep. And she nods knowingly and says, I've known him as something of a firebrand myself. I've heard what he said. I didn't think they would be acting like this, though. And she turns back to Nero and says, do you believe that we have anything to worry about from the church? Others of this ilk?
Hard to say. I would wager that the Glorious Reclamation is a much more dire thing to worry about.
She looks away for a moment, then turns back and says, everyone is looking for weakness. If we show any, who knows will come out of the woodwork. I'm sure he and others like him are just waiting for the opportunity to show their true nature. And she thinks back at the video that was sent and says, he's alive, I take it? You spared him?
We brought him with us.
Exquisite, and she almost smiles. Barely betrays a smile. Exquisite, she says. I will have my best excruciators work on him immediately. And she talks for you for a little bit longer and gets kind of get a sense of what's going on, and she's genuinely happy that the ritual went on without a problem. And then she says, your great success must be recognized officially. We must put on the appropriate show for everyone. She gestures broadly. Elevate you heroes before the court. Display the might of the Empire and its agents, and affirm that Asmodeus still favors House Thrune, and will see us to victory against this glorious reclamation. And she says, I want you all to return here at midnight. I will assemble the full court. And she looks at all of you, and then gestures as if you were all to leave. Does anybody want to say anything else or do anything else?
Durn puts up his hand and says, my queen.
She raises an eyebrow. Yes.
What about me?
What about you?
Am I to continue on with them as a hero?
I keep wanting to make her smile, but she's not supposed to smile.
Don't smile, you bastard.
Yeah,
Don't break the immersion.
Exactly. I'm bad. So she looks at you, and she has these icy cold blue eyes, and she stares at you for a long, awkward moment, and she just says again, report here at midnight.
Then I do the salute.
Alright. Anybody else saying or doing anything?
It was our pleasure to serve you.
She nods as if expecting that response from you.
Does anyone eye Bob in the crowd? Anyone got the hots for Bob now at this point?
Well, again, there's no crowd. This is a private room. This is like a
Okay.
room where she believes like the Glorious Reclamation can't scry on you. If you were
Okay, it's
working
the
for
back room.
them or if they had some object on you, they can't scry on you right now. So that's like, this is the secret room where like, give me the details. Okay, we're gonna do the public thing tonight.
So nobody's eyeing Bob right now.
Unless they have very powerful magic that gets through the lead-lined walls. Yes, correct.
Okay.
What if Bob wants to sacrifice a Twisted Tea?
Shout out Twisted Tea.
Those are weapons. I have it on good authority that those are
Yeah.
melee weapons.
Lethal melee weapons.
Lethal melee.
So you
There's a
all
triggering word as far as I know.
So you all are going to leave, and she asks specifically Aywen to stay, as everybody else is leaving.
Ooh.
Everybody good with that, or is anybody not leaving?
I'm definitely leaving. Ain't part of this bullshit.
All right.
Aywen, you want me to? Do you have need of me? Do you want me to wait outside?
That's really up to the queen. But yeah, I mean, feel free to wait outside, I guess.
I'll wait outside. If you need something from me, just poke your head out and ask me in.
Sure.
Okay. The queen.
Are we back in this room, Joe, with all these people?
No, you're not. You're not actually in the court. Yeah. So this is. I shouldn't have actually snapped you, I guess. But you're not in this throne room. You were kind of in a side room of the palace, and then
Okay.
now you're let out, and you're basically free to wander the city until midnight. I assume it's like the middle of the day, so you've got the rest of the day and the night to do as you please. But right now, the queen is talking to Aywen, and as after everybody leaves and the door is fully closed, and she's sure the wards are all in place to prevent divination, she looks at you and she reaches back, and the contract devil behind her hands her all of the tomes you left with her. The arcane tomes are about the Hell Gate, the Inferno Gate. She says, "We've pored all over these tomes since you've left. It's all we've done this past week when not tending to matters of state or dealing with the upstart rebellion. Every spare moment we've had," and she thumps on the book.
It's pretty heavy stuff. What did you find?
She nods and says, "Your notes were insightful and helpful. It seems as though you are the genuine article." And she seems surprised through her stone face. She genuinely seems surprised that you are as proficient as you appear to be based on your notes.
Thanks. Yeah, I take my studies very seriously. These are the benefits, I guess.
We don't see many gnomes at court. You are young for one of your kind, yes?
Yes.
A prodigy, then. Interesting.
Yes.
And so she opens the book and begins flipping through it. And you're familiar with the pages he's looking through. You've seen all of these notes, and you've studied them for a long time, and actually used magic to study them faster than a human or gnome should be able to. So you're pretty familiar. As she's flipping through, you're marking the pages in your own mind. And she says, "So you believe that with a lawful outsider of sufficient power, we could not only control the Inferno Gate, but also dominate the creatures that pass through it, as Visperthul did?"
That's my belief, yes.
And she flips a couple more pages in and says, "But as we understand it, they would be bound to it, yes? Not to us."
This is Jeff. I don't know the answer to that
Yes,
question.
you believe
Whatever.
yes. You believe the answer
Okay,
is
so yes.
yes. Too risky to use a devil, then. The chains of hell would always pull them, no matter how loyal they claim to be to the throne.
It's a risk, for sure.
And she begins flipping through the book some more and says, "Vex's notes here spoke of wards that Visceralthul put in place to keep Moloch from regaining control. And she looks at you as if to confirm.
I assume that's also correct.
That's also true, yes.
Yes, I would nod, yes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of forgetting some of this
so
stuff.
Visperthul was actively putting like wards in place to keep Moloch from taking full control of the gate, and it was not like a long-term strategy. It was basically just delaying Moloch from taking full control of the gate. So they were buying time for Fex to come up with the master plan.
Got it.
So she asks you, do you understand the ward's intricacies?
I assume Aywen does?
Yes.
Did she figure that part out? Okay,
Yes.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I know, it's been 4 months. I feel terrible.
So yes, and I'm happy to show you whatever you seek to know.
Do you believe it is possible to best the General of Hell, that's another name for Moloch, in such a game of cat and mouse for long? And you believe it's a losing proposition if you don't. You believe it's not a long-term solution.
I think it's a stall tactic until you find a longer-term solution. So, yes and no.
Okay. She nods and she's trying to make more sense of the book. And she flips like a bunch more in the book and says, the details on this section of the tome were more vague, but when corroborated with Nero's official reports of the incident, it seems as though Fex was planning to betray Visperthul and take control of the gate for himself.
Correct, which is, why we had to do what we did.
She nods. Says, and he would do so by using the soul of a servant of Moloch, of something of a key.
Yes.
And this would remove the need for the aforementioned wards.
Yes.
She pauses a moment, rubbing her hands. Says, that intrigues us much more.
Is Bob the soul of Moloch?
He is, and he was the one Visperthul was planning to use.
This is the betrayal.
Well, that was the betrayal last
That
chapter.
was, and this is.
You chose not to do it. You could have done that.
I
So
wasn't there.
she pauses thinking about this for a long time. And then she closes the book, and she says, we will see to this. If the gate can be controlled in this way, we will control it.
Excellent. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
She nods and says, you were right to discreetly get my attention with that little cloak message trick of yours. We must keep this quiet for now until we are ready to act. But act we will.
Understood. I'll wait for the cue from you.
She nods and says, I'm excited to see you at midnight.
Likewise.
All right. So she will send you off and go about her queenly duties. You guys are free to do anything you want around town for a bunch of hours. I have to pee because I've drank too many beers, but I will be right back. Talk about what you guys want to do. Take a bio break if you want, and if it's anything you want to do in town, let me know.
I'm basically going to get drunk with Bob unless we have important things to do.
I mean, you have to be in an audience with the queen at midnight, so.
Don't
Bob,
you
Aaron,
you have
good choice
rejuvenation?
to tea. You could drink these all day.
Can't you just heal him?
Yeah, you can heal me. I know you can. You've done it.
I don't even know how many spells I've got left. So we should get the
Speaking of which,
reward
I want to
for.
go grab a beer.
Yeah, we should get the reward for the griffin,
Indeed.
and then we should probably send messages to whoever we need to message. I'm going to do some stuff like with the Godclaw, but I'll do that offline because I don't want to spring that on Joe.
Where
Other
did we
than
leave
that,
things with Sonara? Did we decide we were just abandoning that deal?
I think the discussion was that Joe was deciding whether or not the effort we'd have to put into resolving it was worth it,
Right.
or if we're just gonna like Deus Ex Machina it. So it might be like they pop the Infernal Gate and pop it into the middle of Sonara or something like that.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, that would be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. So that was my only understanding, but I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I forget a lot of the little side things we had going on.
Well,
I don't remember
the
what.
entire chapter was side quests for the most
No,
part.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's been 4 months. I do not feel bad about having forgotten those things.
So yeah, I mean, Nas was talking about getting the reward for the Griffin talons, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's a reward on it. I don't know what it is, but it is there.
It was like 20,000 or 25,000 or something like that, wasn't
It
it?
was definitely
Like,
yeah, it was definitely.
I thought it was closer to like 60.
I feel like it's a million gold.
600,000 gold, yes.
Yeah. I believe they promised me the kingship. Is that what it's called? The crown. So the talons are.
I mean, we've got a zombified version of it, so we could just march it into wherever it is and be like,
Just
there
point
it
at
is.
them. Treasure. It's a 20,000 gold bounty. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and I assume you collect it here. I don't think it's not the order of the whatever. It's not them. Order of the Pike, was it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's not them. So somewhere within this town, you can definitely collect that bounty for sure.
20 grand. What
20
is Durn gonna do with how much money do I get? 5 grand?
Well, I don't know. What does the slave get? I don't think he gets anything.
I get money,
I think
come
it's
on.
split 4 ways. Is what I.
Hey,
I
look,
mean, I'm not part of the party.
Hey, look, something shiny, something shiny. Anyway, let's move on.
We've also got a distillery to check up on.
Oh
Right?
my god.
You kind of
Dude.
left those halflings to their own devices for a week and a half.
Yeah. Durn doesn't need the bounty when he's getting 2,000 gold per week. So
I mean, he's
If I'm getting
not.
2 grand,
He's not at the moment.
I should be.
Not. That was the deal they struck.
Yeah, dude.
tried
I
to
slayed
strike
that
it.
girl.
He should
You
talk to
was.
his new handler. Maybe his new handler will.
How drunk does Joseph need to get to make the handler do this for us?
I mean, Nero is his temporary handler at the moment, so it's really up to Nero if how much he wants to dispense.
Can I just be a free person and have a bank account and get money?
No, you wanted to play a halfling in Cheliax. That is
You-
your problem.
I'm like 6 months later. I'm like kind of regretting this. You know?
All right. Is anybody doing anything interesting in Egorian during the day and night, evening? You want to get the bounty. Basically, you want to basically show up and say, "Hey, this is Aywen Kazi."
Claim the bounty. Nero would want to check in with his mentor. I've been talking about doing that and not doing it, but we can do that offline because I don't want to spring that on you.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not prepared for that, but sure. I think I was like 4 months ago, and I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have that in my brain at the moment. But loot. I'm just gonna make a note in the loot channel, which we totally use all the time. For bounty. So yeah, so we're not gonna roleplay it, but yeah, like there is some place wherever the bounty was put, you can go there and you have Aywen Kazi as a zombie, and you have the claws, which are like legendarily large and sharp, and that is more than enough to convey that this is really it.
Can we-
really
do we have weapons made out of the claws?
You could try. Yeah. I think so. Did you take a claw off of Aywen Kazi? I don't remember what you guys did. Like, because Jeff Aywen has the zombie. He has a zombie. Kazi.
Right. I believe we took all of the whatever we needed. We extracted from the Griffin and then just zombified the rest of it.
Okay. So yeah, you could try. They are exceptionally sharp. Like they counted as keen weapons essentially. So if you tried to make some sort of small dagger, it would probably be a keen dagger if you made it out of the claw. But also, I think, again, the zombie might have keen weapons. Like we'd have to look at. Again, it's been 4 months. I have no idea what the Aywen Kazi zombie stat block says. But if it has claws, it should have keen claws.
Does it still have the claws if we took them?
No, if you cut one off, no, because again, it has two talons or whatever. It has 2 feet.
Yeah.
So essentially, if you took one, it would have one that was keen and one that was not. A stump and the claw. Bludgeoning and slashing, getting all the damage types.
But that, remember, with Aywen, a lot of these, especially Glorious Reclamation related pets, or Iomade related pets, are not for fighting, they're for showcasing.
And that is critically important. That is good. So yeah, you spend some time going around the city, you find out wherever the bounty is, and you cash in, and they pay you 20 grand in cash. And assuming you're allowing Durn part of the bounty, that's 4 grand each, or 5 grand each if you say Durn can go fuck himself. It's up to you guys.
You can hold my money, but keep track of it for me, okay? I'm bad at keeping track of my money.
I'm gonna hold it for you. I promise I'm not stealing this from you, but I don't want to give it to you only to find out that it's going to miss Theratrix.
That's fair. That's fair. Can we have $500? $200, please.
For what?
Well, we just did the thing. We literally just did the thing. We watched you do the thing, and now we have to go party. The three of us, the four of us. And Durn starts bringing everyone in against their own will.
You know, the boys.
Yeah, with the boys.
I think we just need to show up tonight at midnight. It's gonna be a stiff ceremony, I'm sure.
So we're not partying.
Probably not.
Ceremony.
Tomorrow. Or after.
That's what they told me about Cheliak's land. They kept saying tomorrow, and then it closed. And Durn kind of mopes off with Bob and just whispers, "It didn't happen. It's not gonna happen."
It'll happen, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, is Bob doing anything with Durn? I mean, Bob's got his own money. I don't know how much you have. I don't keep track of your loot. And I don't
He
think
literally has $4,000 now.
Yeah.
That's true. Assuming Nero divvied out everybody else's loot, you have $4,000, so you can do whatever you want with Durn.
Well, we got to invest some of that as the distillery.
Of course, but that's a lot of money even for a distillery.
Should we check on it like before midnight?
Yeah, why not? How far away is it?
It's not that far walking. Again, I don't know how big the city is, but you could walk there.
It's probably a better use of our time than getting drunk, to be honest.
And remember, a beer is a copper. You can buy 100 beers for a gold. So, like, if you're looking to get drunk, you can get drunk.
We're drinking like the high quality.
If you want to
stuff.
do, well, yeah, if you're drinking wine, it's a little more money.
Do you have any idea how many maitre d's I can
Seduce.
seduce 25 gold bottles of wine?
Mr. Alith likes you a lot. Yeah.
So I asked for 200 gold can go fast.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could lose if you want to lose money. You head down to Hellhound Hill and Thorn.
What is the equivalent of blackjack here, and can I waste your time playing it?
I don't really want to waste time because we're only a
Don't do
2-hour
that,
session
yeah.
tonight. But
I'm
if you want
joking,
to play blackjack, you can play blackjack for sure.
Vors, do we need to check in with Sethic?
That's probably a good idea.
All right, you can head over to Lazarix or whatever it's called. 4 months ago, I don't remember what it's called.
We are going to the distillery, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
me and Bob are doing that.
Okay, what do you want to do with the distilleries? Like, if you want to just like high level stuff, I don't want to get into role
Just
playing.
push the business forward, grow the business.
Yeah.
You have two half like there with like nothing to do.
We want to be 10x entrepreneurs.
Yeah, we'll give them. We'll put money into the business. High level, we're putting money into our business. Whatever
Yeah.
you want to do with that, let us know. But
Fair enough.
Leave a comment down below. What the fuck we should do with this business?
Fair
how
enough.
to 10x your distillery, let us know.
All right, fair enough.
Let us 4x it with $4,000.
You're gonna throw $4,000 into the distillery. I'll get stuff
Come on.
moving for sure.
I should do something. Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
$4,000.
I agree. I don't think
We
I
could just-
have Lazarix on here. I had it in Sync RPG. I'm looking through my scenes. I don't have a map for it here.
We could just broker $4,000 worth of beer that exists.
You could just buy $4,000 worth of beer and then resell it. It's true.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we do that.
So yeah, they go.
No,
fuck off.
we don't do exactly that. We're gonna start off light. We're gonna do like 200 gold a beer first.
Okay.
Okay.
You're just looking to rebuy and sell.
Why don't you just get drugs?
Because we are honest businessmen. We're going to.
They tried to buy drugs one time.
And we have
Yeah,
a big-
maybe remember the time we almost
It went
fucking died.
really well. It went
Yeah, we almost
really
died
well.
bad. We were down to one action each time. It was fun.
That didn't well for them. I mean,
Check out
you
sessions.
did loot them, so you profited off your excursion, but you almost.
We did. That was session 61. Take a look. Click on this link in the screen. Shipping. You know.
I don't know.
You're signing-
Again, we
you're
spent
you're-
like
you're
37
signing a job
sessions
for work.
here in this chapter, so I don't know what session it is.
Oh god.
But yeah, okay. So you guys are fucking off and drinking a little and going to your distillery for a little, and you're going to Sethic, Vors. So you go to Lazarix. You're going through the back door as usual.
Yes.
All right. And at this point, the staff all there know you, and no one accosts you or stops you, and you work your way And Sethic again he sits basically in the kitchen as everything's moving around him. He's just sitting at a desk in the kitchen with Mr. Thorpe, the half orc, or I guess he's a full-blooded orc actually, and Bist, the half
shoulder. Just all.
It's still on the sling. He has been refusing staunchly magical healing.
Can we assume we were healed, like, throughout this day at some point? Like, I'll pay someone on the way.
If you want to pay someone for sure, I don't know what Nero had in his tank.
I'll just pay someone. It's super cheap.
It's not super cheap if you want a lot of healing.
No, Bob and me are just a little bit hurt.
Then yes. Then yeah, I wouldn't say you can assume it. Fair enough.
I'll check it out.
Look into it. But yeah, so Sethic is there, and again, he's sitting at a table, and he's eating very bland food, which is odd because he runs like a 5-star, or he owns a 5-star restaurant.
It's not odd. You got his backstory. You can't taste it.
Exactly. He can't.
He can't stomach it.
Correct. He was tortured in a way that he can no longer stomach such rich foods.
Yeah. Yeah. So just lay it out for him. Let him know that he'll probably get some good cred for being a patron for us, and let him know that Levisvia has part of this plane.
And he is ecstatic to hear all of that. That is extremely awesome information for him every little bit. So, like, when he hears that Levisvia is the part of this plane, he tells someone, grab the most expensive bottle of wine we've got. And someone runs off, a halfling runs off to retrieve it. And he's going to toast with you to Levisvia's death. And again, hearing everything else you said, like that the ritual went off without a hitch, that you believe he's going to get props as like a patron. He is super excited. He reiterates that he did a great thing seeing you in the Midnight Temple. He plucked you out of all the people that marched through there. Because again, you were in a long line when you showed up. And he just sat there waiting, and he saw you. He just sensed it, something about you. He plucked you out, and he knew something was special about you. And he's both happy for what you've done and his ability to recognize that you would be the one to do it. And they come back with, again, like a bottle of wine. I don't know what it is, but again, it's an expensive bottle. You would know that. You're a very knowledgeable person in these things. It is a very expensive bottle of Chilaxian wine, and he offers it to you.
Probably like a Pinot Noir.
Yeah, is that your preferred wine?
Yeah, I like that.
You're a Pinot guy?
Yeah. And then, fill him in, let him know that court is going to be in session at midnight. Fill him in, so he'll probably get props.
Yeah, he's excited to be there. So he talks with you for a little bit. He wants a little bit of information, but doesn't poke all that much. He doesn't much care about the details other than the fact that the ritual went off without a hitch, because he was there when you were kind of assigned the job at the last time the court was assembled, and he's happy to see you here a week and a half later, saying that everything's great. Levisvia is dead. Again, everything's coming up Sethic. He's super stoked. This is just great for him. And yeah, he shares the bottle of wine with you. He offers you anything you want from the menu. Like, it's yours, name it. And yeah, again, he has like very expensive rich food if you want that hellhound. It's yours.
Or the boar, you mean?
Yeah, the hellboar, apparently. Yes, the hellboar. It is yours. And yeah, so he's happy with you, and he'll even share a meal with you. If you want to sit down and just kind of chat over a meal, he's happy to hear whatever you want to talk about.
I'll stay for as long as he's pouring that wine.
All right, yeah, he will. He is stoked. He will get a little tipsy with you for sure over Levisvia's death.
Yeah, like once he starts getting like a little drunk, I'm gonna try to butter him up for some money.
Oh, what are you?
I was just like just drop some hints that like his patronage has been it's been fantastic, and like I don't know, like flatter the hell out of him, and basically say that like if he continues to be my patron, that we'll continue to make him proud.
All right, yeah, toss me a diplomacy.
But patronage. Nah. Like we need money, basically.
Patronage costs. Patronage implies more than just a.
Yeah.
You're not a mentor. You're a patron.
Yes.
Yeah. So roll a d20 because apparently the fucking dice don't work for some reason. Fucking skill buttons don't work.
I study him first, so +3 on.
Okay,
All right,
and what is... I gotta look up your actual sheet.
/d20 is not a valid chat message.
/roll d20, and also on the left side there's like a simple dice roller if you want to use that. So you rolled a 14. Your diplomacy is a +19.
Wow.
So that's
Plus
a
3.
That's a 33. +3 is 36. So yeah, so you do a fantastic job, and he is tipsy, and he's, you know, again, he's eating like plain, like almost gruel, because again, he can't stomach nice things, but he's watching you eat this fine boar, and yeah, he is agreeable to that. He waves for Biss to go get something, and she comes back with 2,000 gold in platinum pieces for you.
Is anybody else with me, or is it just Vors rolled solo?
Nero was with you. I don't know if you invited him in, because
I would have invited Nero in.
you would or would not have.
I would have, yes.
You would have, okay.
People been leaving Nero out everywhere, like he's Durn, like he's a little bitch.
Yep.
So he gestures, and Bist comes back with 2,000 gold. He just holds up like 2 and waves away, and Bist goes somewhere and comes back with 2,000 gold in platinum pieces.
Is that 2,000 a week?
No, he just asks. He asks for money, and he's drunk and in a good mood, so he's giving him 2,000 gold. This is like an obscene amount of money, but he's just like, yeah, just get the bastard 2,000 gold. This, yeah, fucking yeah.
To be clear, Vors didn't ask for it. He just hinted that he would appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Somebody of Sethic stature would not expect you to ask for it directly.
He
understands.
He would be offended if I did.
Yeah, he understands, and he is playing the game, and he sees you are, you know, you're a man of, I don't want to say of the game.
Refinement.
Yeah, you're a man of refinement, and you know not to ask for it, and he knows that you are not asking. Exactly. He's playing the game. And he understood what your intentions were and said, yeah, fine, yes, whatever, give him 2,000 gold. Which, again, is obscene amount of money for, like, commoners and things like that. He's just, like, throwing it on you because you asked nicely during a dinner.
But Vors doesn't even look at it. He just pockets it. It would be rude to count.
Of course.
Yeah.
He thumbs it in his pocket, counting each coin.
Okay, I'm going to do a sleight of hand roll.
How blind are you?
I don't know what your sleight of hand bonus is, but it's got to be really good. That's a good roll.
How do you know it's platinum?
Pretty good.
Your sleight of hand.
My sleight of hand is +18.
Yeah, so that's a 35. Yeah. So Bist walks in with a thing, and you're basically just like, woof, it's gone. Just like not even breaking conversation with Sethic. You just pocket these coins.
I would do like some finger tricks with the.
You pop while you're picking up. You pop one out, and you just dance one around your knuckles, and then pop it back in the bag as it goes into your pocket. And yeah, so you're having a good time. And again, Sethic, he thinks nothing of it. Like, you're having a good lunch. You're talking. And he's super stoked at everything you've done and the kind of renown you've brought him. And yeah, he's totally okay with this, and he has a lovely lunch with you as he hears a little bit about your exploits. But again, he's not probing the way the Queen was. He doesn't seem to care all that much about the fights and the things you've done. Just the fact that you've done them and the Queen believes you've done them. Awesome, fantastic. That's all I need.
Would also let him know that there's a good chance we'll be leaving town soon. So if there are any loose ends that we need to clean up before we go, that they would need to be done very quickly.
He looks back towards the freezer, the cold area of the thing, because he's still got the head. So he glances back towards the cold heap area. He says, no, I don't think we have any loose ends, but I know how to find you if I need you.
Should we leave that loose end just laying around? Like, I would feel much better if that disappeared, if you actually have no need of it. I'm not sure that you do now.
He nods and says, the value certainly has decreased since the passage of recent events, he says, raising his glass once again and taking a sip. He says, I think I've learned all I can from it. Do you want to dispose of it yourself?
Yes.
He nods, as you will, and he gestures for Bist to acquire it for you.
Goes out and put it in my bag of holding or whatever that is.
Yeah, she'll do it in a discreet way.
Yep.
And you can put it in your bag of holding. So now you have the Lord Mayor's second or third son, I forget. You have that one's head.
Yeah.
And anything else you want to do with Sethic?
No, just keep. I won't overstay the welcome. Basically, just keep chatting as long as he is enthusiastic, and as soon as he starts to become a little less enthusiastic, we'll graciously duck out.
So he entertains you for a while. He seems very, again, he's in a super great mood because his main nemesis is dead. And you've done great things for him, so he entertains you longer than he ever has, but eventually business comes calling, and you do get the impression that, it would be nice for you to leave, and you leave very tactfully. You read the situation well, and you excuse yourself as soon as it was important enough to do so.
Then I guess go get my armor cleaned up, and I don't know, so I can look good for the
Sure.
for the
Nero,
tonight.
are you doing anything in Sethic's presence? You were just kind of standing behind Vors?
No, nothing important. He'd honor the social niceties and say the right things when he's supposed to, and not listen when he doesn't want to know what they're talking about.
Did you take the mask off, or you still have the face of this?
No, he doesn't wear the mask inside. I'm more sense than that.
He definitely does offer you the same thing. Like, if you want the wine, it's yours. If you want the pork, it's yours. Like, so
Sure,
he doesn't invite you
sure.
to sit down to lunch, but he is talking exclusively to Vors unless you jump in.
Sure.
But he does recognize
All
that
right,
you are part of his cadre or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Vors would naturally invite or leave openings in the conversation for Nero, so he's not just sitting there.
So
awkwardly.
niceties and politeness, but not jumping in, not
Yeah.
stealing the shit. Okay, understood. All right, that's good. So you guys are done, and Bob, Durn, 2020 are off doing their thing. It's now 2021. It's the middle of 2021. It's officially June.
During 2021, holy shit.
Yeah, but remember that this game paused, right? So
Yeah, again,
Yeah,
the
it's still
last session was
2020.
January 31st.
it's still 2020 in the game.
In the
It's
game,
still
it's still
2020.
2020. So you guys are fucking off and investing in your business and maybe drinking some beers. And Aywen, you stayed back for a while with the Queen, but are you doing anything before the evening?
Probably just going back through her old notes to refamiliarize herself with the stuff from the tomes so that she's up to speed if anything's needed. I also think, but we'll take this offline, I can't remember whatever happened with her getting her hair back from the angel. And if she didn't, which is what I think I remember, then she'll probably spend some time figuring out what to do about that.
I thought you did.
Did I?
Does anybody else remember? Because I feel like she did. I can't know if that's a note that I wrote 6 months ago, or if it's something I did 4 months ago.
He was
What
supposed the angel was supposed to send it, and I feel like
I thought
I
a
feel like
package
she-
was delivered for you, and
Yeah.
Lavisvia had it, but she kept it. She stole the package. She intercepted
She
it.
stole it, and then we asked about it. She gave it to you.
She
yeah.
pulled it out of her hair. Like, she had a hair bob, and
Okay.
she had your hair in it. Yeah, this is all coming back to me now. So
It's like
yeah,
a weave.
yeah, she basically had a weave of Aywen's hair in her hair. And when you asked about it,
You
'cause-
said hair bob. Is there like a
yes,
weave
she had
bob?
she had an El-Zoob on her head.
Whoa,
Bob
bob.
Airman.
She had an El-Zoob on her head. And when Aywen asked, hey, did you ever get a package about this? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure. And she basically undid her bob and pulled this out. And she's like,
Okay.
yeah, because, she was charmed and she thought she was on your side. She's like, yeah, I thought this might be worth something. It was a weird package to get. I don't know why you would send a piece of hair to the mail, but but I decided to keep it.
Yeah,
And she
this
gave
is
it
coming
back.
back to me now. That's right. I remember leaving town without it, but you're right. On the journey, we got it. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
Um,
And again,
then-
it's been 4 months, so no
Yeah.
is needed.
So let's say, I know that Aywen had occasionally sent Maggie back to get more names. So let's say that Aywen spent some time talking with Maggie about any information she got and if there's more names to add to the list, basically, and starting to formulate a plan for that. Again, we can just deal with that offline,
Sure.
but that's probably what she'd do.
I believe there's one name pending on the list. There's a gnome and
Yes.
soul rack or whatever it is.
Yeah, there's an old, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have any other names prepared, so we'll do that on Discord.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, yeah.
Yep. All right.
Do we expect that the evening is dressy event again? Yeah, are we
We
like
should probably look like warrior heroes.
So it's not like the Hellfire Ball where you got dressed up for the sake of getting dressed up, but this is kind of like when you were sent on this mission. They're going to assemble the court, so like anybody who's in the royal court is going to be in attendance, and you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you are essentially like the heroes of the day. So you can dress how you would dress if you want, like as you're going out. Like if Bob wants to wear his armor, it's not obscene as it would be at the Hellfire Ball, for example. But it is like it's a fancy event. It's a noble attended event, and it's up to you to what do you want to look like. Last time you did have your dress. You had your illusory dress, right?
right? Yes.
What is that?
That was
It's the best thing.
knowledge nobility check to see what we should wear.
Okay, well let's see. You're rolled a 1, and you can't critically fail skill checks. So your knowledge nobility is still at 21. So even with rolling a 1, you get the impression that again you feel like you're not there as nobles. You're there as heroes. You're there as adventurers. You're there as the people who did the thing. You went and you fought all these people. You did all these things. So if you wanted to show up in your adventuring gear, that would be fine. If you wanted to show up if you wanted to look your noble best, maybe that's how you want to present yourself. It's really up to you. So like Bob showing up in his armor is not a bad thing. You probably want to shine the armor, like you were saying, Vors. You want to look your best, but it's not like a dressy affair as opposed to a geared out affair. Whatever you'd like to wear.
All right. Speaking of not being nobility, can we check on Vors's application or whatever you want to call it?
That'll be. We'll talk about that later. You're good.
Okay.
We'll get there. We've got 50 minutes, and I promise you'll be good in 50 minutes.
Are we becoming gods? Let's go.
You can become gods. Durn especially is going to become a god of all halflings.
Oh God.
All right. Anybody doing anything else before the midnight meeting?
No, just sprucing it up to look presentable.
Actually, Nero could probably bestow upon Durn some title from his little township that's outside Kintaria.
Yeah, let me be the leader of those little bastards.
Have you even met the little bastards? You should have walked in there. I own all y'all now.
Yeah, I'm the master.
I'm the head halfling in this neck of the woods.
That's what's that movie? That Tarantino movie.
Django Unchained.
Yes, that's some Django shit right there.
Nero's been saying Durn's basically Django for a while now.
Let me do it.
Ain't wrong.
Anyhow, on to midnight.
On to midnight.
Let's go.
To the midnight.
Shout out Bijo, shout out Twisted Tea, White Claw.
Bijo, Twisted Tea, we love all y'all.
Send us stuff, please.
Send us stuff, Twisted Tea. Alright, so you guys arrive at the throne room at midnight. And as I said last time we were in here 4 months ago, the magnificence of the throne room of the Imperial Palace is breathtaking. Massive columns of red marble shoot upward to the domed ceiling above. The dome is painted with a scene of hell depicting various devils roasting and torturing the enemies of the Empire. Scaffolding conceals one section of the Great Mural where painters are adding the likeness of Alexandra Cancellaria, the Lord Marshal of the Florist Reclamation, to the ranks of those being tormented. Members of the Imperial Court, nobles from Egorian and across the realm, fill the audience hall. Behind the throngs of courtiers stand an array of uncomfortably lifelike statues in diverse poses. The Queen's collection of so-called living statues, enemies of the state that have been petrified and put on display here for the Queen's pleasure and safety. So essentially all the statues here are basically people who have wronged the Queen at some point and are just put on display for everyone else to be afraid of. Like if they step out of line, they may be petrified and put here in the palace. So the entire court is once again assembled in the throne room. You can see kind of all of the people you've talked to. There's Cavalderic is here, the half-elk that ran the rave. Lavesvia is dead, so I left her on the thing just so you know she's dead. She used to be here, and now she's dead. You see a bunch of...
Nosferatrix here?
You see, Nosferatrix is not here. He is not a noble. No, so he is not here.
I wasn't even invited to my ascension. That's crazy.
No, he was not invited. He is a handler. He's a perfunctory. He's a worker bee. And
You can't be noble and that good looking. That would be unfair.
yeah, that would be
That's a
unfair.
crime.
That's just yeah, exactly agreed. Sethic is here. Batzelhoon is here. Baroness Bermilla, the clown-faced woman, is here. And again, you see a bunch of other nobility, and basically everybody you've ever interacted with that is worth a damn in this town is here and assembled as the court of Egorian. And you are led in by guards, and you are led all the way up to the edge of her little dais there.
Do we need to roll scary checks?
I forgot about that, but yeah, why don't you roll will saves, because General Gorthoklek has an aura. That's a good point.
I'm immune to fears.
When did that happen?
That happened because I ran like a little bitch last time. And I specifically took that skill to be immune to fear.
You can just choose to be immune to fear. Everybody roll a
No,
d20.
I think that when I blood rage, I'm immune to fear, but I can blood rage.
So you're gonna
for
like
a second.
smack yourself going. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Get your game on.
I'm gonna study him.
All right. Do slash roll 1d20, I think it is. Or again, there's like on the left, there's a menu bar. There's that thing. Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
+3 plus my modifier.
Oh, my Bob.
Oh, my Bob.
Oh, my
Our catchers are the ones with the balls.
All right. So I gotta look up everybody's bonuses now because
I'm +6, so I got. Yeah, I'm not very good.
Do they not support PF1 anymore?
I don't know. I updated it today. That was probably a mistake. Was updated.
Oh, yeah. They've been releasing new versions. I haven't been touching them.
Yeah, that's a problem. So anyway.
Oh my god, did Vors fail a will save? That's weird.
13.
Aywen's got a 31, so she's good.
Vors is 13 should be good.
Bob rolled a 4, and his bonus is a 13, so he's got a 17. That's not good enough. Are you immune to fear as an anti-paladin? I don't think so. No. Okay, so you're afraid. So as you approach, you're not like running away, but you were like visibly afraid of here. General Gorthoklek over here.
Can I intimidate myself into being less of a bitch?
No.
That's so good. That's the moral.
So this is the throne room picture, and General Gorthoklek is the one on the left there, the big pit fiend. So he has like this aura of palpable fear. Just approaching him, you are terrified. Like he is one of the most powerful devils in the armies of hell, and he's just standing here next to the queen, and you were just terrified of him, Bob. But you managed to not run away and piss yourself. Vors, I'm pretty sure, is going to fail with a 4.
Vors pisses.
It's a 13 total.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, you are afraid. And Nero with 18 is also afraid. So everybody but Aywen is afraid? Is that what I got out of this?
And Durn.
What did Durn roll? Oh, you're never.
Turns blood raging right
I
now.
have
I'm here.
I have a wand of remove fear. Would that be gauche to use it as we approach?
I think you would think it was awkward. You would assume people would see you using it. But it's up to you. Again, you do feel like visibly terrified. Would you reach for it in a moment of terror?
No, probably he'd realize like this is just an aura. You need to just toughen up.
Okay. So you were all afraid, except for Aywen and Durn. So you approach. Your teeth begin chattering a little bit. And the court is watching patiently to see what is going on. They've been summoned here at midnight, which is a normal time here in the Empire of Hell. It's not like it's a weird thing to be summoned at midnight. And Queen Abigail Thrune II speaks. She says, "The priests of Asmodeus teach us that hell is the eternal flame that truly guides all paths to power. Today, these devoted subjects have ensured that hell's fires still blaze in favor of Cheliax. Behold, one and all, what true dedication to Queen and Empire can accomplish. I, Abigail II of the thrice-damned House of Thrune, by the might of Asmodeus, Queen and Empress of Cheliax, hereby decree that these loyal and trusted agents be welcomed into the ranks of the Bound. to share in the glory of House Thrune and the Empire of Cheliax. You have already sworn your bodies and minds to us. Now, if you will, your souls shall be promised to Asmodeus. In return, let the powers of the damned be open to you, so that you can use such gifts to further our will. And she looks to all of you as if, are you willing to accept this? Are you willing to offer your soul to Asmodeus in service of the throne?
Hell yeah, I'm already in it.
Okay, so Durn is in.
Do we know, like, what specifically do we think that means?
You only know what she said so far.
Specific contract? Okay.
You have not seen a contract at the moment.
Do
What does it mean to bind my soul to Asmodeus?
You believe you would be damned and go to hell upon your death, at the very least.
That's not such a bad place, though, right?
Would he like torment us there?
That's part of going to hell, yes. You believe that your soul would be promised to Asmodeus, you would go to hell, you would be tormented there, you would be turned into lemures, which are like the lowest level devils, and then you might be, if you're lucky, combined into other devils and other souls to make more powerful devils. But basically, you would go to Asmodeus and he would do with you as he saw fit.
Oh hell no, I'm not going to hell. Durn's going to heaven.
What?
Durn's not a bad dude.
He's just misguided.
He's misunderstood.
Nero will whisper back, it's a ceremony. Say yes, even if you mean no.
I mean, that was more for Chris. Like, Vors would totally jump all over this. So,
Alright, so Vors is in.
Vors would, like, kneel or...
Alright, Vors is in, Nero is apparently in. Durn, are you in or not? You waffled.
Durn waffled, but when Nero spoke to him, he just shrugged and said, "Okay, well, it's you and me, buddy."
Nero will conspicuously say something like, "I am at the Queen's disposal," which is neither a yes nor a no.
Durn will say exactly what he says.
Okay, and Aywen?
Yeah, I think she would also take her cue off of Nero and just, like, as am I.
Alright, and Bob. El-Zoob.
Bob already belongs to hell, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Bob has promised his soul to Moloch. That's
you promise
no,
that?
but I promised my soul to a bunch of people. It's kind of all I do.
yeah, you're kind of all over the place. So what are you doing now? In this moment, what is Bob doing?
Just a little slut dragon.
Bob is a little flicker.
We're with Nero.
You're with Nero. Okay, so you're promising your soul to Asmodeus.
I do promise her soul to Nero.
So again, she betrays no emotion in her face, but she nods, and that's like as happy as she gets, essentially. She nods, and she gestures behind her to a contract devil, the same one that kind of was talking to you earlier. And he comes out and says, "Now it's just a matter of the paperwork," he says in a nerdy nasal voice.
It's
And
Nero's
he
bread
he
and butter.
does present a contract to you, so you can make a linguistics, knowledge, planes, or profession barrister check.
To be reviewed right now, like reviewed. And
You're
signed
signing
on
it
the
now,
spot.
or you're not signing it. Correct.
Oh my god, what kind of deal
Can
is
somebody read it to Vors, please?
it? Yeah, someone forward it for us.
It's linguistics, knowledge, planes, or profession barrister.
Nero, you must have all three of those.
Knowledge planes, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys
Nero,
you gonna space out for a second there, buddy?
Of course he is, yes.
Yeah, I'd like a plus 400 on that. Yes.
What was it?
Oh.
Linguistics?
36 is great.
You rolled a 19. 56?
He spaced out. He gets a plus 20 on it, yeah.
Never even seen that before.
Yeah, I've never seen a plus 50. Whatever.
Plus 56. I've never seen anyone roll a 56.
Alright.
Like,
Could get it. Could get an alchemy checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, you're dumb. You're not going to do this. You're not having those, right?
I could do this.
Do it, Bob.
What-
God
what-
damn
what
it.
are-
Bob, what are you going to roll? You're going to roll linguistics, knowledge, planes, or profession barrister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Bob.
I don't even know where linguistics is in this
Well,
fucking.
just
Yeah,
roll a
there is
d20
one.
because none of the buttons work apparently. So just roll a d20.
Yeah.
Do you have linguistics? I think it's trained only. And yeah, you're done. You're done.
None of the buttons work. I like some of the
So
buttons
Nero, Nero and Aywen, both of you. Oh, the attacks.
What are you doing swinging your
What?
sword?
I'm glad the attacks work. It doesn't matter.
He said the buttons don't work. To be fair, when the buttons didn't work, I reopened it in Firefox. So
And it did start working then.
yeah.
Oh, that's odd.
Oh,
Okay.
100% doing that. Okay.
Acrobatics, like the skills still don't work.
Oh
so.
well, that's okay. So maybe it's
Yeah.
Anyway, so Nero and Aywen, you both kind of understand by signing this infernal contract, your characters will swear their souls to Asmodeus, meaning you will go to hell when you die. The contract does stipulate that if you defeat the glorious reclamation before you die, the fate of your souls will return to you. So if before that time you break the contract by failing to vanquish the glorious reclamation, providing aid to Aymedeans, or betraying the queen, your souls will be immediately forfeit to Asmodeus and consigned to hell for eternity. In return, you believe you will receive an infernal boon, which is stipulated later in the contract, for as long as your soul remains bound by the contract. So you will actually be given a hellish power, and they are elaborated at the bottom. And just quickly skimming them, they do seem to be interesting at the very least. I can
Like statistical bonuses? Or
yes,
two
you
shows?
will get statistical bonuses if
What
you
kind of
sign
hammer are
the
we
contract.
talking about?
It's not a hammer.
So Vors would have asked Aywen or Nero to sum all that up for him since he can't read it himself.
All right, how do you convey that, Nero
Or Aywen.
or Aywen? I want to paste a bunch of stuff. Oh, it's too big.
So Nero will give a quick rundown that it's a standard contract. Defeat the glorious reclamation. Don't give them aid, and you'll gain a boon. If you finish the glorious reclamation, then the fate of your soul returns to you, and the boon dissipates, and it'll be in title alone.
Oh my god. Does that
what?
does that mean I'll be free?
It does not.
Oh, well, fuck that.
All right. I pasted all of those in the general chat, so you can just peruse them if you want to think about if this is worth it to your character. And again, I have to pee again because I'm an idiot. So
Fucking-
peruse them for a
fucking
moment, and I'll be right back.
Cliffhanger.
Tiny tank.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah, you can make a weapon unholy.
Bob's gonna get murdered, leered.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why you agreed, but I guess you had no choice.
Oh my god.
It's peer pressure.
I kind of want to get rid of the
Can you
blind
not be
side.
blind?
Take fiendish.
Saving gains. I'm 100% doing this.
Dude, look at fiendish.
Okay, hang on.
The recipient is infused with hellish vigor, gaining dark vision 60, cold resistance
Oh my
15,
God.
fire resistance 15, DR 10. But we're good. In addition, once per day as a swift action, the recipient can smite good, adding his charisma bonus
Do you have
to
charisma?
attack rolls and adding his character level to all damage rolls against good foes.
Oh, Jesus, this is a great deal. How are we not doing this?
Again, it's up to you, but like that's the
No,
gist
look.
of the deal that you see.
Vors is all over it.
Can we negotiate, by the way, Nero?
Nero does not get the impression that this is negotiable. He kind of assumes, based on the way it's presented, that the queen assumes you will be taking this deal.
Yeah,
So-
it's actually like $2,000 or something.
Aywen would pick a language that she assumes that both she and Nero know, but that others in the court do not. I can figure what that is, but I assume given the two of them, they have something like that.
Sure.
And would kind of get his opinion on two things. One, like, what defeat Glorious Reclamation means and doesn't mean, and how widely that could be interpreted. In terms of, like, is it now? Is it permanent? Like, if they come back after we're done with them somehow, does that count? Like, she's sort of going through some of these, like, conditionals. And then is also curious with if you aid the Glorious Reclamation, like, if one were to do that with the idea of betraying them, like using it as bait, if that would also violate the, like, she's trying to understand potential violations of the contract.
Violations are violations. It would depend on the intention would matter, but you would need to argue it well, and you would need to have an outcome that definitely made clear that your intention by doing this kindness was destruction. Being a double agent type thing would be obviously to the detriment, but you'd have to have a clear line of proof that that was what you were doing.
So she basically, she's like, so you think intent matters to the devils? They won't just look at the text and be like, this says this, that's that?
I think intent that can be proven matters. Anything that can be proven matters. So I had it in my heart is very nice when won't matter. I had it in my heart, and here's the plan I had laid out, and here are the things I had in motion, and here's a book detailing all that. How I was using all the things that I had set up is a wholly different matter. Regardless, would Nero know of anything obscure that you could basically get into a contract with invoking a right to arbitration, something like that?
How do the courts in hell work?
They are very meticulous, is the answer to that question. So you're not sure that you could enter this contract invoking the rights to arbitration? Again, so the contract has been presented to you. There's nothing in there about that. You'd have to basically renegotiate the contract. And Nero is of the opinion that the Queen has presented this in this public setting in such a way that you should not be doing that. She assumes that this is a good contract that you should accept for the good of the Empire. And she doesn't, you don't believe arguing or amending the contract is a thing you should be doing at this point.
Okay.
And to the point of the argument you were making, the discussion you were having with Aywen, you do believe that, you providing evidence is good and all, but devils have a way of, if the wording of the contract is such that they can fuck you, they are going to fuck you.
Yeah.
So, it is vague. Aywen's concern is genuine. The destruction, or whatever they said, the Vors reclamation being destroyed, or whatever, I forget the exact wording. If it's vague enough, you could be bound forever. But, again, as heroes of the Empire, you're not sure how much you should have to worry about that.
Well, and Aywen's intention is to bury that Vors reclamation forever. She just wants to understand if she doesn't succeed in that part of it entirely, is she fucked? So...
What if we die trying to take down the glorious reclamation, and we have the chance to be, at this point, raised from the dead, reincarnated, whatever?
You do believe, by the terms of the contract, your soul is not directly assigned to Asmodeus. So if you died, you would not immediately be sent to him. You believe that, again, by the contract, your soul is actually put in escrow. So the queen would essentially have a temporary hold. She'd have a lien on your soul, and if she basically, it would be forfeit to Asmodeus under these contracts. But you do believe that you could be raised from the dead, and you do believe that if you died and were not raised from the dead, but the party succeeded as a whole, your soul would be liberated.
Okay. So yeah, once Aywen discusses those questions with Nero and kind of gets that general response, then she's happy to sign the contract.
All right. Is anybody not signing the contract? All of that detail's been exposed.
Durn will do it if Nero does it.
Zoob.
Yeah, Nero's gonna...
Where you at, Zoob?
Bob feels like Bob should pray.
There you go.
Yeah, what do you pray about? What do you do?
Asmodeus, or
Just want to ask Moloch
Should I betray you?
should I betray you, Moloch?
So you, in a moment of profound religiousness, pray to Moloch, and you are genuinely concerned. Is this betraying you? and you do not get a word answer. Nothing speaks to you. The fire and the anvil in your head is not speaking to you, but you feel a profound sense of peace. You do not believe, you do not feel afraid of this decision, having prayed on it. You believe that doing this is not disservicing Moloch. And in the greater hierarchy of things, Moloch is a general in Asmodeus' armies.
Alright, well, I mean, if the boys are good for it and, you know, Moloch's good for it, let's fucking go.
Boys are good.
The boys are good for it. So nobody is refusing this gift?
Hell nah.
You all sign the contract. The contract devil, he has a little, like a razor sharp claw. He pinches one of your fingers to get blood on the contract. And after all of you have signed the contract, the queen rises from her throne and bestows a kiss upon each of you, sealing the compact between you, the hell, and herself. The contract devil gathers the signed contracts and opens a fiery portal to hell, which he steps into with the contracts.
Can we get a copy of those, please?
He's gone. He's gone. No, he's filing them away in hell.
Oh man!
And as that happens, there is cheers and general applause from the assembled court in honor of the newly bound agents. You are officially bound agents of Thrune now, which is the highest tier of agents. There is nobody higher than you, and it is a very exclusive level of agents.
Durn will throw up the salute to the crowd.
the Laura Ingram, if you will.
Lord.
Jesus.
So after things calm down a bit, the queen looks at Nero, and she says to you, "You have brought honor and renown to your family, even as the third son of a third son. Many have underestimated you and your family, but we do not believe anyone will make that mistake again. As an active signifier in a Hell Knight order, we know you are not allowed to accept any title of nobility or grants of land. Still, we would see you and your family rewarded. It is in this spirit that the crown awards the barony formerly held by Archbaron Darylus Vex to House Nero, to whichever relation Nero should desire. Do you have anyone you would bequeath this to?"
I haven't thought about it. I'll have an answer for you shortly. You
Fair
honor me
enough.
greatly.
Fair enough. You name a name. And this is a tract of land that is mostly woods and wilderness, with a small town of Longacre within it. It's basically it's a backwater, but you're now the Archbaron of the backwater, one of your relations is. And she says, "Additionally, House Narcopolis has been deemed treasonous to the Empire. Several members of the family have acted in ways directly opposed to the interests of the Crown, the Empire, and our trusted agents. Others have confessed to supporting these actions to various degrees. The entire Narcopolis family is hereby exiled from Cheliax and all of its realms and holdings under penalty of excruciation. All legal filings made by the family have been summarily dropped. Their meager holdings have been subsumed by the Crown and will be reallocated as we see fit. In this vein, the Crown acknowledges the Council of Cantaria as the legitimate governing body of the town, as a reward for their exemplary and well-documented loyalty to the Empire. As was arranged pending judgment in the Narcopolis' objections, the town will remain in fealty to the Archbaron of Longacre, to be named by Nero. And she looks at you, Nero, to assess your happiness with what she has said.
Nero is genuinely surprised and actually smiles, which is rare because he's such a dour human being. And he thanks her profusely for honoring him and does all the correct honorifics and all that good stuff. Yeah.
She nods and she bows deeply to you, more deeply than she has in previous interactions. And she turns towards the gnome. She says, "In his reports, Nero has written in great detail about your mastery of the arcane arts and the great feats that you allowed your comrades to achieve. They were, in a word, unbelievable. Even written by a signifier of the Godclaw, we had to wonder if he was stretching the truth that he had sworn to uphold. The queen gestures to Azamag, your accuser devil on your shoulder, hanging out nearby. Your pet has removed all of that doubt. She has shared with us visions of your wondrous accomplishments. It was not Nero stretching the truth. It was you bending reality toward your will. The visions given to us by your accuser also have revealed something far more interesting. The level at which you despise the Ayamadeans and their glorious reclamation. Your hatred is genuine and pure. It runs far deeper than that of a soldier fighting their enemy, or that of a slave cursing their abusive master. There is a burning abhorrence for them at your very core. You enjoy not only killing them, but tearing down their spirits, shattering their wills, and undoing what they have done. She looks at the general court, raises her arms, and says, "This is how we will crush their little rebellion. It is not enough for our heroes to inspire our soldiers. They must demoralize our enemies as well. And Aywen has both the knack and flair for it. In honor of your service, in hopes of sating your thirst for knowledge and arcane power, we are granting you full access to the Royal Arcanum and providing you personal scribes to help you with whatever research you deem valuable or interesting."
Ding.
The Royal Arcanum is essentially a mage's library with heavily restricted access to it. It contains heretical and unofficial tomes in it.
You just got a research grant, son. Big one. Big one.
How does Aywen react to that?
Well, I mean, as the queen is speaking, her eyes are sort of growing wider and wider, especially when told about access to that. And she basically just kind of bows a little bit and says, "I will make good use of this extended knowledge for your will. Thank you."
And she bows deeply, and her eyes linger on you for a moment, and you get the sense that she's conveying a great appreciation for the knowledge you've given her, like the tomes you provided and the discreet way you've done it. And just in general, she seems appreciative of the fact that you've done so well, and she's giving you this knowledge with the hope that you will, pursue what you like, but also ensure that the Inferno Gate is within control of the Empire. And then she turns to Vors. We have never seen someone surrounded by as much blood as you are, Master Avernus, with such clean hands. We have spoken with the Dotari, with the Church, and we have communed with Asmodeus himself. And they all find you innocent of any involvement with the death of your uncle, and justified in your use of lethal force against your duplicitous cousins. Upon your arrival in Egorian, Nero wasted no time in filing an official petition that you be named rightful heir of the Avernus family. We have it here. A servant behind her, hands her a thick, bound set of papers, and she holds it up. Your good friend Thelgano Sethic, she nods to him in the crowd, nudged us to look at this a week and a half ago, but we were busy with matters more important than a family's internal squabbling. Had we done so, we likely would have ruled against you. The arguments put forward were compelling, the law and precedent cited cobbled together in intriguing ways. But there was nothing there to get around the fact that your mother married your uncle. And there is some snickering amongst the nobility behind you, silenced immediately as Abigail's icy gaze pans across them.
Vors would like to roll a perception check and note every single one of them.
Fair enough. Go ahead, roll a d20.
If you read the names back to Durn, I'll write them down in my hand. Oh, you don't know shit.
Well, you have a good perception check though, so let me see what it is. Skills. Perception.
It's plus 21.
21, so yeah, 23 is not bad. So Sethic did not laugh. The Duke, Ravan Milisiva, did. The Baroness did not. Bats El-Zoob did not. So a bunch of random nobles and the Duke are basically the people you picked out of the crowd.
Fucking bally guy.
So they did laugh at the idea of your mother marrying your uncle.
Alright.
But she looks around the room and silences the laughter. And then she says, "But that is no longer a problem." And she snaps her fingers, and the carefully prepared documents by Nero burn to ash in her hand immediately. With the death of your uncle, Ned of House Avernus, and his heirs, Rod, Todd, and Quinta, and that of your mother, Maud Avernus, the line of succession is clear. You
She's
shall
dead.
inherit the barony afforded to House Avernus in full.
Wait, serious question though. I thought my mother was still alive.
She looks at you and tilts her head. You did not know? She pauses before saying, "She was listed among the dead and missing in the recent attack on Remisiana."
The glorious reclamation shall pay for this.
She pauses for a long moment, again her face betraying no emotion. "We are genuinely sorry that you should hear this in such a public forum. You must believe us, it was not our intent."
I appreciate that.
She nods.
Perhaps the details you could share with me in private, so that I may focus some efforts once the will of the Queen is done.
She nods. Of course, of course. But she has nothing more to say to you at the moment in public. So, anything else Vors wants to say?
Thank you, Your Majesty.
She nods, and you are
Sure.
officially a baron.
Okay.
And she turns to Durn of House Durn,
Durn.
and she nods at you, and then looks up to address the room. In the entire history of House Thrune's rule of Cheliax, there has never been a halfling in the ranks of the Bound, but one stands before you now. Look at him. Know him. Take this moment in. You are witnessing history being made. She gestures to you, says, "Durn was not broken the way a common slip often is. His will was not crushed. It was curated. We plucked him from the fight pits of Corentin ourselves and channeled his rage in productive ways. We gave him meaning through service, and he served faithfully. As with all agents, he swore first his body, then his mind, and as you have seen now, his soul, to the house and to the empire. He did all of this willingly, though he was still a slave." And he looks at you as if you want to say anything at this point.
Durn just blushes and looks around and looks at Gorthoglek for like fatherly affirmation.
Gorthoglek gives you no such thing.
So Durn will step forward and continue to blush.
Okay. She looks back at the crowd and says, "He was integral in the destruction of the Bellflower Network cell here in Egorian just a week ago. His loyalty to the Empire supersedes that of his loyalty to his race, his desire to see their freedom." She turns back to you, Durn. "You have done well. Better than anyone could have imagined. But you've done so because of your leash, not in spite of it. When you last stood before the court, you asked a favor of us. The audacity may have cost a lesser slip their tongue, but your recent accomplishments that day had us feeling generous. Do you remember what you asked?"
I did. I do.
What was it?
I think I asked for freedom, though Sherrod can't remember.
You asked for Nero to be your handler.
Okay, yeah, I asked for that. I asked for Nero of House Nero to be my handler.
And you shall have it. Nero of House Nero shall serve as your handler until he is unwilling or unable to perform the duties. She turns to you, Nero. He's your monster for now. Keep a tight leash. Report regularly.
You're muted. Nose.
Of course, you honor me.
We shall make you proud, and Durn will blood rage and sprout his wings and like turn to the crowd and like flap his wings and salute the queen and go back to being in line.
I'm sure you will. And she looks again at Nero as if like, we will make sure that he makes us proud.
Man, I should ask for more, like a bank account or something. Shit.
And then she turns to everybody's favorite character, Bob El-Zoob. And as she turns to you, her stoic face that throughout all of this has shown absolutely no emotion relaxes slightly, and she sighs. You still remain something of a mystery to us.
Yeah, me too.
Nero's reports and the accuser's visions show you to be a capable warrior. Tales of what happened at the Hellfire Ball with Vocatus Specs and the Barb Devils were some of the members of the mobility all they could talk about for days after the party. And yet, you are still something of an unknown force.
Oh, that's so good.
Sure, yeah.
Her icy eyes then turn to Cindervoss hanging at your hip. Are you just the hammer? A simple tool? Effective when wielded properly?
I think we all are, yeah.
Wow.
But what of the wielder? Is there nothing more to you?
Well, it's
It's
a
your
knowledge.
chance to get the distillery. You could say that you're a distiller as well as the hammer.
You could IPO right now.
Oh, there's a public list. Yeah.
She's offering you a SPAC.
Yeah, she'd literally offer you this back.
You guys are the worst.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Yes, I am a tool that knows how to handle a tool.
You serve the crown. That much is clear. You've sworn your body, mind, and soul to us in our house. But why do you swear so?
I want to say for the boys, but that's not the right answer.
For the boys.
boys! You be Bob, man. Don't think what the right answer is. You be Bob.
For the boys, we're having a good time. We're out here fucking shit up,
She
making
nods.
things better.
She ponders it for a moment, and then asks very directly, what favor of us would you ask?
Ask for this back.
I'm gonna ask her. Functioning distillery.
And
Functioning shop
again,
distillery.
her stone face, she cracks a smile, and she says,
I can't believe that's all you asked for.
I have a distillery was recently made available, and she turns to Aywen, nodding to the fact that Enika is currently being excruciated in a public square, and the distillery she owned is now unowned. And she says, is that all? As if you were asking for nothing.
No.
If you would have a distillery, and she gestures broadly, like, one will be found for you.
Get her to pre-buy like $1 billion a year.
Yeah, can we get exclusive branding? Like, can we get, like, Queen branding rights on this bullshit?
She shakes her head. He wants no part of that.
Like, an exclusive contract for... I don't know, some part of the city.
Yeah,
Help him start his business.
she's not having any of that. So as you're talking, she turns to the side.
Vors nudges him and just whispers in his ear, "You could get a snake."
I could get a snake. This is it. This is me shitposting all of the games that we played.
This is it. The top tier. Are you asking the Queen of Cheliax for a snake?
No, she's about to offer you something good, I think.
Yeah, can I get something better than the snake?
Well, I
Is
don't,
there like
I don't know.
is there a
Two-
devil?
two-
Is there a
two
devil
snakes.
snake or something?
2 snakes.
Can I like a snake wizard?
A snake
Yeah.
wizard? I don't think they
Do
have.
a wizard snakes.
Are you, is
wizard
this
with a
Bob
finance
asking in
figurine.
character? Is Bob literally asking the Queen of Cheliax for a wizard?
No.
Okay.
This is Michael asking for a wizard.
Well, you
snake.
gotta
That's
ask
for a
the Queen.
snake
The
wizard.
Queen has asked you a question. You're supposed to be role playing at the moment. What does Bob say?
So
All right.
after Vors leans in and says, "You could get your snake."
I want an
There-
army.
okay,
I want
before you
an
answer-
army. What?
Before you answer, there is a serpent demon. Just to be clear, and look it up. It exists.
Demons are not
Okay.
devils, though, for the record. Demons are chaos.
No.
I want an army of devils at my command.
Nice. Good for you.
Oh, he could control the gate.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
She raises an eyebrow. She says, "Would you be willing to work for such an army?"
Of course. The army would work for me, and I would work for you.
But you would sweat, you would suffer for such an army, to attain such an army?
Yes.
She smiles again. Again, she's betrayed no emotion the entire time you've been here, but she seems extremely happy with this. And she says,
Well, I got a distillery and an army of devils.
"Then you shall have it," she says.
Fucking right, boys.
Nice. Good job, dude.
And having spoken to each of you, she turns to the side and she gestures, she just waves feebly to the side. And a halfling servant walks towards you, eyes locked to the floor. She does not look up to gaze at the mighty heroes of Cheliax. And he walks up to each of you in turn and just holds out a big sack, like a coin purse, basically, to each of you.
Turn 2?
Yes, so he goes to each one of you in turn and does it. And as he approaches you, Durn, you note that as he bows before you, as he's bowed to everybody else, he dares to look up at you for the briefest of moments before slamming his eyes back down to the floor.
I take his sack and pet him on the head.
He nods
But with a claw hand.
with a
Not
claw
with
hand. So he bowed, and then you pet him, and he nods again, and then he moves on to the next person, like Bob. And he hands all of you a sack, a well-made sack.
What's in the sack?
Do you reach into the sack?
No, I keep it though. I don't give it to Nero. This is my sack.
Yeah, they hand it all directly to you. So, Durn, you do have a sack. And the queen says, "Some coin to aid you in your endeavors, or perhaps to enjoy a beef respite.
A beef patty.
respite. You know, if you're into beef, before you are called upon again." Does anybody do anything with your magic sacks? All right. Well, then the queen stands, and in doing so, all in attendance jump up to rigid attention. She gestures for you to turn around to the assembled court.
Hell yeah. Control mouse wheel. Oh god.
Queen Abigail II shouts, "All hail the bound for Queen and Empire!" And everybody in attendance, the dozens of people there, all the nobles that have mattered in the entire last chapter, they all place a fist over their heart and do the not-so-great salute. And they
Valorian
echo in unison, "For Queen and Empire!"
Queen and
They're
Empire.
all saluting you, not the Queen. They're all saluting you, the newly minted bound agents of Cheliax. And
Hell
that's
yeah.
the session. You have all leveled to 13th level.
Oh no, don't say
You
that.
all
Good
get a
news.
boon as discussed in Discord.
Time's a multi-class, boys.
Yep.
And when you
Level
reach
one
into
button.
those sacks eventually, you will find a shit ton of gold. 25,000 gold each.
Wow.
Wow, darn,
I
you're
am
fucking rich,
keeping-
bro.
Yeah, I'm keeping that. That's
You are
a lot of money.
insanely rich. This little bit of gold the queen gave you to have some fun is an insane amount.
I'm writing out my notes.
Durn finally got paid.
Finally got paid.
2021-0601, Durn got paid from the Queen, 25k.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm for sure taking that fiendish boon.
You don't have to decide now. Basically, as part of your leveling, you'll pick one.
Can I? Can Boris go get his blindside healed?
If you wish, yes, you can definitely get that fixed. It's not even a difficult.
It's gonna make you a way worse character, though.
Well, you'll see further, but not as well in the dark.
And you won't see invisible things, and you won't see through illusions.
But also, you have a lot of money. You could get true sight put on your eyeballs.
We also have an army of devils.
Well, you don't have it yet. You have to work and sweat for it. You swore you would.
Didn't he work and sweat already?
No.
I also can't change my level, I don't think.
Hell is fucking hot, dude.
We'll look into this. I don't know what the tokens are broken. So basically, don't start playing with them yet. But let's just do Mortals and MVP. So MVPs,
Bobby.
nominations. What you got?
MVP's first? Okay.
Yeah, MVP's first. We'll go with that first.
Yeah.
Any nominations? Oh, that's a lot of Mortals, huh?
Joe, MVP Joe.
Me? Why? I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, this was a great session, Joe.
It was a great session.
Shorty, greatly enjoyed it.
MVP Tiny Tank.
Thank you. I know it was a lot of role playing. There was no fighty. I'm glad because apparently the buttons don't work.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
I think Jeff did a lot of great stuff with a ton of backstory. He did signaling the Queen, building up this whole sort of side thing with the gate and everything going on. And yeah, I really
That was
enjoyed it.
helpful. That drove the story. Like it reminded me of what the hell was going on. So I think that was helpful.
Well, it reminded you of what I have going on, maybe not what is going on.
Durn is whatever is going on for you is going on for Durn.
It's a team game, really.
All right, let's do a /GM. Let me know.
I also appreciated Bob asking for Bob things.
Sherrod, you voted twice somehow. Is your second one accurate?
The first one was you, so.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I'm very drunk, so it's fine. All right, I got 2 votes so far. Go ahead and /GM. And morals, there are a bunch in Discord. You want to read
Oh,
them?
I forgot to do like the first half of the session on morals, so.
That's fine. We're rusty. It's fine. What do you got?
We got moral. It's Bob Durn 2021. She undid her bob. Are we becoming gods? Okay, let's do this. Can I intimidate myself into being less of a bitch? Durn is not a bad dude, he's misunderstood. How do the courts in hell work? You believe by the contract that your soul would be put into escrow. The queen would have a lien on your soul.
It's true.
You just got a research grant. You could IPO right now. She's offering you a spec. I take his sack and pat him on the head. This is my sack. Durn, you do have a sack. And that's it.
That's it.
Alright, so it looks like the escrow lien is winning by far. Right, and Aywen, did you vote for MVP?
Maybe not.
I don't believe
No.
you did.
No, I was too busy reading the whatever they are, the boons.
The boons.
The boons.
The shoes.
Aywen is MVP.
Hooray!
Hooray! And the moral, as we said before, is you believe by the contract that your soul would be put into escrow. The queen would have a lien on your soul. All right. Thanks for playing. So this is the end of the 4th chapter. You were
wow.
You were all leveling to 13th level, and for all intents and purposes, I'm assuming the Inferno Gate story is closed. The queen will be doing stuff with it, unless you want to do stuff with it. There's still Sonara. I don't know if you guys know or care about what's going on there. And then there's the next chapter. So if you want to do Sonara stuff, let me know. We'll talk about it on Discord. We can hand wave it, or we can get down and dirty in it. And then other stuff will happen in the world, so we can figure out what we want to do. But that's it. Thanks for playing. Had a great time.